trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed. I've been sleeping in my bed. Oh, so show me family. Hey, all the blood that I will bleed. Oh, I don't know where I belong. Hey, I don't know where I went wrong. But I can write a song. 1, 2, 3, and I belong with you. You belong with me, my sweetheart. I belong with you. You belong with me, my sweetheart. Come on now. Hey. Oh, I don't think you're right for him. Hey, look at what it might have been. Oh, took a bus to Chinatown. Hey, I'll be standing on Canal and Bowery. She'd be standing next to me. 2, 3, and I belong with you. You belong with me, my sweetheart. I belong with you. You belong with me, my sweetheart. Love, we need it now. Let's go. Oh, son. Love, where it leads now. I belong with you. You belong with me, my sweetheart. I belong with you. You belong with me, my sweetheart. Hey. Oh.
Can I direct your attention to the entrance of the marquee and please be upstanding? I mean stand up. If you could all give a big round of applause for your new bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Cherrelle. Thank you, ladies and gents. If you could all please take your seats, starters will be served shortly. Thank you.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. Because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my Wonderwall.
Shark attack. No.
I'd like to say how beautiful my daughter looks tonight. He scrubs up as well. What's a shave, the scruffy gets.
You might have had a shave, Jamie.
Bridesmaids. Everyone looks gorgeous, don't they?
Yes.
Hey?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I'm glad you all could come. Yeah, that's all it is.
So you don't need any windows.
We're not dwelling on the past. It's about the party now. Yeah? Isn't it? Yes. I love you. Your mum loves you. We all love you. We both of you. So I also want to have good life, healthy, yeah? So, to ask Cherrelle and Steve.
Adam's there.
Here he is.
I'm sure Adam's there.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know me, I've been around most of the day, but obviously you've heard me as well. I'm Adam, Steve's best man. But I must say, although being asked to be the best man today, we can all agree that Steve is the best man at today's wedding. But on top of that, I would reveal that I am the Cupid that got these two together. But all will be revealed. Before I say a few things, I hope everyone's having a fantastic time, because Steve hasn't told me how much it's cost you to feed us, and for a few of us to witness it. And he has said to me last night, there's a couple of people here that he doesn't want to be here as well, so I thought we all need to look at each other and just make sure. Alright. Steve shrugged his shoulders on occasions and used one of his many laid-back approaches, telling me to keep the speech in line, short enough. And he mentioned something about the bar, most probably so I can get a Jaeger. Either or. I also did read, you know, it shouldn't be longer than his love-making capabilities, so I think I should sit down at this point. No, I'm not. I will, of course, not forget to mention Cherrelle. She does look dazzling, as everyone said. But upon that, she could talk to herself in an empty room, so. But it does go without saying, she looks gorgeous today, and so do the rest of the girls, the bridesmaids, everyone, a full lot of brides. Born on September the 7th as a Christmas mishap. Regardless. Me and Steve, we met when we was about 10, 11 years old. It was just before we started school, in high school. He was playing for, he was a small kid with a good looking round head. And still today he's kept two of those things going strong. I didn't like him much as when we was a kid, because he played for the much poorer team of Marauders, eh? And the likes of myself, Carl and Phil and a couple of the lads play for the better team. But deep down, never to mention, he was a quality keeper, and even though we can see, again, height has never been on his side, he was good at what he did, and he was a great guy when I first met him. He's an avid football fan. He follows City home and away. There's been a couple in the room, not to mention his dad, his brother. You know, we try and get to as many games as we can. Obviously, we're all season ticket holders. He loves City as much as the next person. But for example, who knew eventually we'd become best mates, and one day at the same high school I'd be studying the situation today. It's a great honour. Steve's a couple of names, and obviously Stephen with a V, which he's spent many years telling people throughout school, probably throughout his childhood as well, and especially in later life when he's come on to many other jobs and met lots of people in this room. One time back in school, one of our friends' mum and dad, they went on holiday, and after returning, she came back in a bit of a frenzy and told our friend she couldn't find anything related with the name Gregan. As many of us know, I call him Gregan, and a lot of other people do as well.
We told her, just to let you know, that his first name isn't actually Gregor. I've been able to witness a lot with Steve, one thing being his driving. To me, Steve's more like a matured wine, or as many people might say, a bit of a matured woman. Because you need guts or a gun in your face from a stranger to jump in his passenger seat. I remember once we took a quick trip to Tesco, and like I've just said there, a quick trip, quick was the important word to remember. We drove into Tesco car park and quickly ended in the bushes at the bottom of Tesco car park. His car was in a bit of a wreck. It was definitely a write-off. We're not quite sure how we managed to explain it, but we did quite a smooth job because we didn't really get told off and everyone was quite happy. But between myself, Steve, his mum and his dad, no excuses are needed. We all knew what happened really, but it wasn't a matter because we were safe, sound, and it was just a stupid thing that happened. Gregor, of course, enjoys a drink or two. I'd probably say 3 or 4 after tonight. But it also isn't his strong point, as many people would probably agree with me. In fact, he's quite an awful at drinking. He goes from sober to drunk quicker than probably any of us could stand up right now. Along with his lazy drunk eyes after a couple of drinks, and also his late stages of sleepwalking. Getting him drunk is cheap, easy, and guaranteed a laugh. Of course, everyone who was present for our first holiday abroad in Turkey, it was a great laugh. Even his stag doing recently. We've witnessed some great scenes and even some smaller ones, much like his penis. Which ironically, because one of his drunk things what he does, whenever Steve needs a wee, is much like a child. He drops his pants wherever he is. And many people in this room have probably seen it. But on top of that, many of us carried him home, cleaned up his sick, made sure he's fed a kebab, most probably with the hottest chilli sauce available. The story of how they met, or more the truth in my case. Many of you might have heard that it was probably a college love affair, which has lasted and no doubt will last a lifetime. But college, Cherrelle, a drama and dance fanatic, and Gregor, my so-called fit mate wearing a beanie cap. He was studying the bookworm building at Bury College, and a couple of the lads, myself and Dan for example, were over in the much more cooler buildings. To be honest, a little chalk and cheese at the beginning. Like I said, Cherrelle, she's loud, but she's well within her bounds to me. And Steve's quite quiet. You know, when we were younger, he was very reserved and he was just one of the lads. But they've definitely brought the best out in each other. Numerous conversations started as typical teenage chat, and then eventually Steve started to return questions. That's where I noticed he was definitely interested. They met at a house party originally, but then eventually met on my 18th birthday party. And before arriving, I heard Cherrelle turn and say, "Steve's mine, girls, hands off." But I can safely say that between a couple of us, we helped match our best friends with a girl of his dreams. And so far to date, and I'm sure through the rest of our lives, we'll complete each other's lives. Of course, this was sealed with a stop outside KFC. I think they were waiting for a taxi. Things blossomed well between them, and before we knew it, Gregor travelled to and from Manchester to see Cherrelle at university. They were definitely smitten. They were bringing out the best in each other, and eventually, even if I did remind him, she still could be a bit of a screw loose. And don't let that Middleton charm draw you in yet. They were going through the typical motions of a relationship that worked so well, and soon had big plans, which made both of them so much happier and closer, and everything was just falling into place. It was a pleasure to witness, and it wasn't long before they trotted off for some travelling around the world, and of course the question was popped. He kept it a secret from us all, but when he did pop it, he popped it in style. I realised that this was now a serious thing, as serious as it gets, which I was still struggling to understand because Steve calls himself an accountant. I'm not too sure how much Cherrelle realised he was going to be an accountant eventually. He's careful and sensible. And my God, that boy, I'm sure, has spent many times rubbing pennies together, only allowing the washing machine on once a week. And he's definitely used the toilet roll more than once. But for that, I love him to bits, because he can save his money and he's sensible. The rest, of course, is history, which all of us are here part of today. I'm going to slowly finish with a bit of a poem, try to put it together, see if it comes together well. I'll hope it'll sum up. The perfect groom is gentle, never harsh, cruel or mean. He has a beautiful smile and keeps his face so clean. The perfect groom likes children and will raise them by your side. He will be a good father and a husband to your bride. The perfect groom loves cooking, cleaning, and occasionally putting the washing machine on too. He will do anything in his power to show his love for you. He will never make you cry or hurt you in any way. But if this poem stands to be true, then Steve, you're definitely gay. On that note, like I said, many of us have got many memories, but to welcome Cherrelle into my family and my friends, and vice versa for Steve, I'd love everyone just to raise a glass, be standing up on the feet, and just raise a toast to my best friend and his new gorgeous wife, Mr. and Mrs. Gregan, Stephen and Cherrelle.
Stephen and Cherrelle. Cherrelle.
How do I follow that?
Your turn now, mate.
Well, I'm not going to bore you for half an hour like I've been. Literally, I want to say literally 2 or 3 things. First of all, just thank you to every one of you for coming. Obviously today, from the helicopter, amazing, me and Adam in that. Best thing one I've ever done. But getting here, seeing Cherrelle, I didn't cry, which I know you're all shocked at. I don't know how I'm more crying now than I was. So, I'm not one for words, I'm one for numbers, so I'm not going to give you numbers. So, just want to thank everyone for coming, have a good night, have a few drinks, and party.
If everyone looks on the table, there are a handful of these small love hearts, just a token of appreciation for myself, bride and groom. There's about 1 per couple, so you'll just be generous, but please do take a moment as a bit of momentum. It'll mean so much to Stephen and Cherrelle.
Thanks, guys. The desserts are coming out soon. Once we've had them, it's literally wasted. As you said, get wasted. We're in the other side of the marquee. It's a bit cooler. Bar's flowing. DJ is about to start, so just enjoy yourself. Just a quick something else. I just want to say thank you to the people that have kind of helped today and everything like that. So first of all of the flower girls. So they're probably running about everywhere. Come up. Maddie? The next one is my dad. Carl West. Carl, is he about? Carl West. Oh, he's coming.
Well, Carl.
Jamie! Daniel, Kevin.
Yes.
I had to get the girls' drink, gin and tonic, so excuse them. Just to let you know, we've ordered the suits, and he's only got 27-inch leg. If you can beat that.
Oh, that's all 27-inch leg.
Thank you.
Jamie?
Hi-ho!
Jamie, give me Cherrelle. So,
Stellar, isn't it?
right, a lot of you know I've got, just as well as Dad has done a speech, I've got 2 best men today. Mike did the rings, brother. Home truths on the speech, but
It's my turn now for my girls.
might take half an
So first up, all the way from Dublin, blessed 3 times this month, Ella Murphy. Alicia, thanks for letting me 2 children. Olivia Sherrington, running 2 pubs and managed to be right now. My sister, Jungle Louise Ball. And last but not least, Stacey Loft. This girl has done all the Flower Girl dresses with me. She's made all the centerpieces. She's been there tooth and nail.
Three other people, just to finalise this. Alison, stand up.
Come on, get Run out, Val! Okay, Steve Johnson, Ella Ray.
My mum did everything we wanted. My mum did
All the party bags,
everything. So,
alterations.
and the final one's for, if you've not seen it up to now, the wedding cake at the back. It's amazing. Banana napkin. anyway.
Well done, Nana Atkin.
We'd like to give to everyone, but thank you all for coming. Thanks for everyone that's helped for today.
And all your gifts have been given to Christie's elite cause, so...
You are my word. Then I put the letter back in the place where it was found, in the pocket of the jacket on a train in town. Sent to her from heaven, Sally Cinnamon, you're her world.
Not the sweetest song and birds in the trees. And they hear singing out, and I guess you say, hey, 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 hey. I don't need no money or something. I got all this, baby, one man can queen. And they hear singing out, and I guess you say, what can make me feel this way, my girl? Well, I'm talking about my girl. I got sunshine on this cloudy day, my girl. But I even got the month of May with my girl. We'll come back to that one in a little while. We've got it on the way later on. I'm going to get something in for the people who sat down. I can't begin to know it, but then I know it's growing strong. Was in the spring, and spring became the summer. You don't believe that you come along. You know how this one goes. One, touching one, reaching out, touching me, touching touching you. And it's down the line. Good times never seem so good. Well, I've been inclined to believe they never would, but now I look at the night and it don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when it hurts, it runs off my shoulders. How can I hurt when I'm holding you? Hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. And it's sweet Caroline. Good times never seem so good. Well, I've been inclined to believe they never would. Oh no, no. This is the point usually, ladies and gents, we invite you to put your hands together. So every single person, if you're on the dance floor, come on. Put your hands together. Sweet Caroline, oh, oh, oh. Good times never seem so good. Well, I've been inclined to believe they never would. My baby, sweet Caroline. Good times never seem so good. Well, I've been inclined to believe they never would. Oh no, no. While we're easing it in this evening, we seem to have your singing voices. You know this one. You sat down, we want to see you sway. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's when the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing, beat a ballad. Hearts will play it, tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a guitar and tell her, lucky fella. When the stars make you true, just like pasta was old, that's amore. When you dance down the street with a clown at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, that be our boy, like the night. There's a tugboat down by the river, don't you know? Where that cement pipe is just driving on down. I see men and still for the way they have to join our road. But it's hard to cash, and now man keep these bones, and it's been just like a sailor. Could it be, our boys not on the rush. Now Janet Singing country, look out, Miss Darlene, and on Lucifer, yeah, that land falls on the rampage. let's get some words now, if that's alright with you. Is that alright? So when we went down to the moon, humming a different tune, and then there may be teardrops to shed. So while there's more light and music, love and romance, let's face some music. It's a lucky day. You wanna hug me, but does you hug me? Okay, now can't let it touch me. It's far from plastic. Just wanna get nasty. Go ahead, one thing I ask, and that is to pull your hair like this. I want to tell why you want it. So that's to say, guys.
Keep that.
Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Hi, Cherrelle. Please ride on my dear heart. Thinking congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love with me. Congratulations and jubilations. Who would believe that I could be happy and contented? I used to think that happiness hadn't been invented, but that was in bad old days before I met you. When I let you walk into my heart. Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love with me. So I think ladies and gents, they're going to get straight on the dance floor this evening. Do you think it's about time we go on the dance floor this evening, girls? I think so. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your bride and groom, the new Mr. and Mrs. Gregory. Come on, put your hands together. I've been trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed. Sleeping in my bed. So show me family, all the blood that I will bleed. I don't know where I belong. I don't know where I went wrong. I can write a song.
You know how this one goes. Let's see you clapping. Come on.
I belong to you, you belong to me, my sweetheart. I belong to you, you belong to me, my sweetheart. Sweetheart.
ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your bride and groom once again this evening. Come on. We'd also like to see the father of the bride front and centre right now, ladies and gents, because we're going to do a little bit of a dance, especially for him and his little girl, of course. So where's Dad? Come on, Dad.
Jumping in the misty morning fog with our hearts that thumping you, bright girl. You bright girl. And whatever happened Tuesday is so slow, going down the old man with a transistor radio, standing in the sunlight laughing, high a rainbow's long, slipping out the slack, all along the waterfall with you.
Every single person knows the words to this next bit. We want to hear you screaming it as loud as you can. Do you remember when? Sing it, come on.
We used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Just like that. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. So hard to find my way. Now that I'm on my own, I started just the other day. Now you have grown. Just forget me back there, Lord. Sometimes overcome thinking about making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you, my bride girl. We used to sing
I believe the bridesmaids will know this next one. I think a few more of you will as well.
Saturday night, got through the air is not too hot. Like a baby, I'll make you mine. You know I take you to the top. I'll drive you crazy. Saturday night, dancing like the way you move. Pretty baby, it's party time and nothing anything to lose. Be my baby. Be my baby. Pretty baby.